What happened to Dakota James? This is a mystery that's basically unsolved as of today, and we're going to dive into it. The 23-year-old university graduate student disappeared on January 25th of 2017. He left friends after a night out on Liberty Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh and headed home on the north side. So, what really happened to this young man? His death was ruled an accident. He was found in the river 40 days later. When Pam, his mother, got the call that her son was missing, she immediately knew something was wrong. I thought he was in trouble. I never would believe that he would walk across to the river and go down and just fall in. I knew something had to happen. So she and her husband, Jeff James, temporarily moved from their home in Frederick, Maryland to Pittsburgh to spearhead searches and plead with authorities to do more. They had put up missing posters in order to try to find him. The retired New York City police detective Kevin Gannon thinks Dakota was drugged again the night he disappeared. I believe that he was drugged like all of the other victims, abducted off the street and held for a period of time before they killed him and placed him in the water. Now, I think Gannon is, yes, here it is. He leads a group of investigators who are looking into the mysterious deaths of young men across the country who have disappeared and later found in a body of water. They dubbed it the work of the smiley face killers. They've often, these bodies nearby, they've found graffiti where there is a smile face located. So his body was found in the Ohio River near Interstate 79 bridge over Neville Island, 40 days after he disappeared. The Allegheny County Medical Examiner ruled his death an accidental drowning. However, when forensics pathologist Dr. Cyril Wecht reviewed the autopsy, he had some red flags. He said it didn't look like a body that had been in the river for 7 weeks. He pointed out there were no scratch marks on Dakota's face or hands. There's no way a body could travel 10 miles through a dam 40 days and that would be pristine and impossible. It doesn't make sense. His body would have went in the water beyond the violent waters of Emsworth Dam in the back of the channel of the river. There's nothing at all on the body to suggest that he went through the dam. So the family worked with detectives over the next few months. Oxygen channel cameras followed along for a documentary called The Hunt for Justice. So you have to take the tangible evidence of a mark that was on his neck. And what is seen in the picture was not mentioned in the autopsy report. So there was no internal damage to the neck structure as reported in the autopsy report. So he can't say that he was strangled. There was blood pooled in the fingers on both of Dakota's hands, which could result from trying to pull something away from his neck. So now we have to ask the tarot cards, and this is where it gets interesting, because this is him, Dakota, in the woods, and this is at the point when his body was found. So I'm going to go ahead and pull from quite a few different tarot decks, and I'm going to start out with the Haunted House Tarot, and I know that this deck is geared toward violence because it is a haunted house tarot, so I will use another deck to confirm anything that shows up. So the first thing I like to do is simply ask, what happened to Dakota James on the night that he disappeared? What happened to him? Well, this is kind of literal, that he definitely passed away and went to the angels, right? Because there's a big angel sitting on a rock and the butterflies. He was transformed. Oh, there's water. See, you have to pay such close attention to the cards. There is water in the background. Look at that. He turned into an angel. And then there's water in the background. So we'll pull one more card from this, and then we'll grab another deck. Oh, this looks violent. Oh, and look at him falling. Yeah. Oh, from hitting the back of the head or something with the head. Trying to get something's behind. Something's behind. He's using his hands to desperately try to get off. Could be attacked from the back. And this almost looks like just dumped the body at that point. Now let's go ahead and ask another deck. And I'm actually gonna just ask the regular universal weight. I'm gonna ask the universal weight. Did someone else cause his death? Was somebody else responsible for Dakota James dying? Was there another person involved? Here's a college student. Okay, so there's the college student. And yes, there was another person. So I have an agreement with my tarot cards that whenever the ace comes up and the question I ask can be answered with a yes and no question, and the ace comes up, it is automatically yes. And this is at the hand of someone else. So that would be a yes. And is this person who was, or persons responsible for his death, are they in any kind of an organized group? Are they in any kind of an organized group? This is what we're asking. I'm pulling a card further down. So this is the Queen of Cups. So look at, she's by the water. They were focused on him. This person was focused on him and had every intention of putting him in the water. All right. And so then because they think it's the smiley face, I don't know how to really ask the cards and know that we're going to get an accurate answer on that. Because we'd have to determine smiley face, but I am going to make an effort to do it. And I'm going to use the Connolly Tarot. Was the group responsible for Dakota James' death, was this the smiley face killer group? Was this the smiley face killer group? What I'd be looking for here is a confirmation of yes or a definite smile in the card. I don't know if I'm going to get that. I don't know what I'm going to get here. I just simply don't know. Here's the death. Transition. This is transition card. Now I notice the checkered floor, and that just tells me there's a group and there's a leader because there's a crown on the floor. There was a directive. This reminds me of the checkered kind of Freemason, but I know it's not Freemason, but that just kind of gives me a hint of the group. It's almost like this pan of water reminds me of baptism or sacrifice or something, and I'm going to pull another card. Remember, we're still asking about the smiley-faced group, deception. This is the moon. Oh, look at the weapon here. Knife, there was some hidden. Now, this is hidden. The moon is hidden, so it's deception. And it feels like they are kind of at a temple or, temple, which could be a ritual. There's a faint pentacle here, like a ritual. I wonder if he was killed on a full moon. I wonder when the full moon was in January of 2017. I would be interested to know that because that came up in the cards. So this is the mother being very focused on I am going to find out who did this no matter how long it takes me. I am going to be focused. Now, I don't see anyone smiling in these cards, but I do see a group. So I'm just going to ask another series of cards. Was the group Smiley Killers, was that the actual title of the group that was responsible for his death? This is money and independent. And they pick very carefully who they're going to kill. Like she's picking the grapes. They pick very carefully their victims. of who they're going to do it to. And he happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what this says. He was kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time, and this unbalanced could be that they gave him something that made him unbalanced. Wonder if the group has any ties to a feather, like hawk or something, hawk or some bird of prey. I just, I kind of talk out loud during these things. This was a choice. This was a choice. It could be also two other people involved. Oh my, this is the devil. This is like satanic. This is cult. It was a cult. All right, I'm going to call it a cult. There was definitely a cult involved in his murder. So I'm actually going to attempt, since he's deceased and he's been deceased for a while, I feel like I can do this right now. I use the steampunk to communicate with deceased people. What I'm going to attempt to do here is actually communicate with Dakota James himself. Now, when I do this, I want to tell you that sometimes they don't know how they died. If they're drugged and they're not fully aware of what's going on, plus if there's drinking and he was drugged, he might not know what happened to him. But let's tap into him and see, and we'll. So the first thing I ask is that if Dakota James wants to come forward, if he could please come forward and give us any information you can about what happened to you, Dakota. What happened to you? And then on these cards, I don't go by the tarot meaning. I go by the scene on the card, so you can join in with me. And let's say that there's the checkered floor again. That's the checkered floor showing up in a totally different deck. The checkered floor. That's a group. That is a group. Now he's dead. So he's coming through saying he's dead. And it was timing, the timing. I mean, he's even showing a clock. And he's showing 3 swords on the wall. So I think this was a group. This was a group effort to take him down. And that checkered floor, that's got to be some kind of a organized group. Okay, so that's interesting because there he is, passed away. It kind of looks like even a guy in a coffin with a little pillow, put down his sword. I mean, very weird. What do you know who did it to you, Dakota? Do you know who did? I can't get names. I never can get names, but we can get descriptions maybe. Dakota, do you know this group? Do you know who did this to you? This would be the card of the 6 of Swords. Now, it's interesting that we had the 4 swords. Now we've got swords on a balloon. I wonder what colors are red and white. Red and white. And I wonder if the people that did it this feels like high level. When you fly up in an air balloon, you're at a high level. See, they both have goggles on in there, and I'm not sure what he's trying to tell me because these cards only have so much ability to project the symbols and the art, and if it's not on there and he's trying to describe something to me, I don't always get this, folks. I don't always get this. So you can kind of help me, or we just kind of have to figure out what's going on here. He is very sorry that he wasn't paying better attention. He is very sorry that this happened to him. He's coming through with a really apology, but once again, look at all these swords or wands. But then he's holding that. I'm just looking for clues, you guys. One of his hands, something in his arm, it's wrapped up in metal. And I wonder if in that surveillance, if he could have been holding his arm, if he was already slightly injured then, because he's injured, and see that metal? His arm was in the metal, and something on his head. He had something on his head. Let's just see if he keeps talking. Oh yeah, he passed away, and he's thankful that his body was found and that he had a proper, disposal in the proper way. But look at this weapon. He really wants to get. He really wants to get the people who did this. They were dark people. Dark people. I mean, I'm not saying dark skinned. I'm saying they were evil dark people. Yeah, this feels like a group. So here we have a knight, I'm not saying it was a group of knights, but when you have like the Knights Templar and things like that, we're really giving a lot of reference to a group. Now we've got symbols here, and the symbols are carved. The symbols are carved into the wall. Oh, wait a minute. The smiley face has things carved into the wall. And could he be showing me that this little circle with something in it could be the smiley face? Dakota, do you think it was the smiley face killer group? Do you? That's what the one detective thinks. Do you think it was the smiley face group that killed you? I don't know how he's going to bring this through. The Fool. This is the Fool. Let's just take a look at it. Now, we do have somebody smiling in this card. Yeah, we do have somebody smiling and the Fool. Wow. I mean, he's almost leading me to believe that it could be the smiley face killer. Do you think is there any clues that people could follow or anyone could follow, Dakota, to help solve this for you? Is there anything you can say that can help solve this? I mean, I'm not sure, but it might be asking too much of this wonderful young man. I believe there's two people here. So the Temperance. I mean, we've had cards with two. So there's two, or there's two here. There's two in the back, but I think there's two main culprits. Red wings. Why do red wings? Didn't I say something about a feather earlier? And wings have feathers. So I'm going to write down, because I need to think about this, a feather. And now we're getting wings. A feather, wings. Could this be a bird? Something with a bird. Somebody that would have a bird name. Something with a... I'm just rambling on here, because sometimes you can get things when you just ramble on. You'll be surprised what you can come out with. I feel like there's the feather, and there's the foot stepping into water. So he knows that he was placed into the water. So I think he was aware that he was placed into the water, but at that point he couldn't do anything about it. Why do we keep getting air balloons? And I feel like she's a pilot. Gosh, I wonder if this was a pilot. Oh, feathers. Feathers, wings. That's flying. You fly with wings. Now we've got a pilot, an air balloon. Looks like a pilot there. Something flying. Flying and a pilot. Okay, thank you, Dakota. I mean, I'm going to go to a different deck here. I'm going to go to Anna Kay. And I'm going to say, I'm going to ask Anna Kay, are there any hints or clues that you can give us? Oh, I'm developing my very own murder mystery deck. So this is ugly. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be really ugly. You just have to forgive me, because this is my very rough draft copy of my own murder mystery deck. I don't know if this is going to be accurate, but I'm going to throw it out there. What do we need to know about Dakota James' disappearance? Was it suspicious? What was going on here? I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Jealous love triangle. So I don't know what's going on with that. A triangle. but I'm going to pay attention to the word triangle of that. But I don't think there was any jealousy. I don't think there was anything like that going on. Like I said, those cards, I don't know. I have to tweak them out. Let's just say that. So I'm going to ask I'm going to ask Anna Kay. Is there any hints that we can get that would definitely give a clue as to who committed the actual murder of Dakota James? Is there any clues that we can give to really give us an idea? Here we have the group energy, and this is a nasty group. And there's money. This group does things for money. Look at money and material wealth or material things. And they're sneaky, but they watch for their victims, and they strike a lot in the winter. Look at the winter coats. I think they strike in the winter. I don't know if they do. I'm just saying this. It looks like winter. Everybody's dressed warm. I feel like there's red hair. I'm looking at the reddish hair. So I'm gonna write down like reddish hair. I don't know. Sometimes I just make some notes to myself, and I just go with I just go with whatever I'm hinted at on the cards. The Judgment. It makes me wonder if one or two of the people in the group were actually killed also, or they've done other killings. Like this could be ritualistic killings. Like we do one, we do the next, we do the next. And somebody knows, and they're keeping it hidden. So somebody's afraid of this group, and they know something, and they're keeping it hidden. Will that person at all come out at any point? Will they come out and expose who did this? We got another Knight of Wands. They have a flag. There's certain colors and a flag, and it feels like this could get figured out. I'm feeling like this could get figured out. So they have a flag, and there's a symbol on his belt. I feel like the group has a flag, or like a flag or some emblem that they wear. It's an emblem or something, a flag. They're known by a symbol. And they strike at night. And it's always water. They strike at night and they dump in the water. Star. Star. There's a star. Maybe there's a star to the symbol or something. So the last thing I'm going to ask the cards. Actually, I'm going to ask my murder mystery again. Except I'm not going to ask about him. I'm going to ask about the group. Is there something to be known about this group? And I don't know if my cards, I made these so long ago, and I don't even know what they say anymore. Is there something to be said about the group? Familiar with the killer. The victim or family, familiar with the killer. So maybe they've heard of the group. Maybe there's somebody that he knew that was in the group. There again, that's my deck. Take it with a grain of salt, because that's just something I was playing with. I thought, what? I want to see if I could design a murder mystery oracle thing, and I don't know. I'll just see how that goes, if I finish it or what I do with it. So I'm just going to ask one. These are tiny cards. They're so tiny. And I'm going to ask, is there anything that can be done to absolutely get this solved and stop this group? Is there anything that can be done to get this solved? Here's my tiny cards. I don't even know what this is. I have to look at them first. Another Queen. Queen of Swords. This could be Law and Order, the swords, and she looks like this could be his mother too. What's this? Did this fall out? This is a happy ending, even though you can't have a happy ending when somebody's passed. But if this card fell out and it's with the Queen of Swords, this means the outcome's going to be that they're going to have closure on this, because nines are endings, and this is finally happiness, and this could be the whole group. This could be a lineup of the whole group, like breaking the whole group. Wow. Wouldn't that be interesting, to bust the entire group and stop it? Now that would be, I'll just push these aside. I never can get those organized. So is I'm just going to pull one last final card, and then I'm going to call it a day on this, because it does look like there was definitely foul play. This was definitely a group. We've got some symbols in. You guys, I hope you paid attention to the cards so that you know. Maybe you can comment below what you picked up in the cards, because they do give hints in the artwork. They do give hints. Two of Cups. I think this is going to get solved. I think that is two people together, but that is a good outcome card as far as getting this closure and getting the, this wonderful young man having justice be done for him. So I want to thank you for joining my channel. And these murder mysteries are always disappointing to me to do, because it's disappointing because that we have to even have a murder mystery. You know what I'm saying? It's disappointing that we even have people who are capable of murder. It's not something that I generally do for, like, when my private readings, I do happy things or people having challenges, not this kind of thing. But I am the tarot medium, and sometimes I attempt to, not always, but sometimes when I feel it's appropriate, I will attempt to communicate with the person, because it gives them closure. Sometimes on the other side, knowing that people are on here fighting to find out who did this, and particularly his mother. It looks like he has a wonderful, beautiful mother who is really doing a good job at trying to uncover this. She's a fantastic person in his life, and so we offer prayers to the family that this happened, and that my biggest hope is that this will get solved so that they can have peace and know that justice was done. So I want to thank you for joining my channel. If you pick up on anything in this cards show, please comment below. Thank you very much.